Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Not sure if this thing has started yet. YouTube takes 5 to 10 seconds sometimes to actually start the live stream. But I'll give people a couple of minutes to come in. As usual, this is the live stream show. So Q&A, anything that you guys have any questions on, anything that I can help you guys with, put it down in the comments. Happy to chat with you guys. As you guys trickle in, let me know where you're from. I always like to know that. So again, let's give people a few minutes to join. We'll see what we can do. And I'll explain what I'm doing. It's a very cold day outside, so it's around 30 degrees or colder than 0 degrees Celsius for those that are not in America. What up, Apollo? I'm sitting here in my Type R seats, which are for sale. And again, I'll explain everything. So we're a minute in. We got a bunch of people in here, which is good. It's nice seeing everybody. So I'm also using my new iPhone. Apollo's from Brazil, but you live in the U.S. I think you live in Florida, Apollo. We were supposed to meet up when I moved down there, and that's what I'm going to talk about. So today, I'm going to show you guys some parts that I have. I've organized them. We're in the middle of a move right now, so everything's quite a bit of a mess. So excuse the mess. But we're literally right in the middle of this. So next weekend, I'm going to be in Florida for the whole weekend. I may not be able to do a live stream since I'll be driving down to Florida with a trailer full of stuff. The weekend after that, I'll be back up here and I'll be, again, traveling down to Florida with a second trailer full of stuff. So right now, we're literally in the middle of packing. But before we finish, moving everything out, there's a bunch of stuff that I have for sale. And that's what we're going to go over today. So in case you guys missed it, I kind of announced it in my first live stream in a long time, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, that we are moving to Florida. So we're moving to Florida for a couple of reasons. I guess I should answer why. The main reason is weather related and tax related. There's no state income tax there. There's a higher quality of life. And we bought 40 acres of farmland in Florida. So I think it was a good find for me. We're going to be building a giant shop. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff in Florida. So, and I'm going to be joining the firm. So Florida International Rally and Motorsports racetrack down there. I'll be about an hour away from that. So I will join it. I'll be able to do 2 to 3 track days a week. And it'll be a lot of fun. I also have a few other announcements. I have another car joining our group. So we have another car that I'm buying. And as I explained to you guys last weekend, I'm also selling my FK8 Type R. In case you guys missed it, I know a lot of you guys can't really join every single Sunday, but I try to do these every Sunday going forward. Like I said, next couple of Sundays might be tough, but I'm going to still try to do it. And in the meantime, yeah, so I have a lot of parts that I should be selling here. And I actually tallied them all up. I tallied up all the parts. I kind of went on eBay, see what they were worth, and I, took 10% off just to be conservative. And I have over $10,000 worth of parts. So it's a lot of parts that I shouldn't have anymore. And I'll go through them with you. First, I'm going to go through some chats. Let's take a look. See if I can do this easily. What up, Dustin? So we got Rochester, New York from Kevin. Slowest FB2. Welcome to the channel, man. You just bought a Type R 3 days ago. Congrats. I mean, the Type R is awesome. I'm going to be getting an 11th gen Type R, which is one of the reasons why I'm selling the FK Type R. Just, again, as a reminder, I'm also on the list for the C8 Z06. And there's another car that I'm going to be adding in between selling the Type R and getting that C8 Z06 and getting the 11th gen Type R. So a lot of car movements. We're selling this house. A lot of house movements. A lot of things going on. So we got Type R Speed from New Jersey. How's your Type R on hot days with the tune? Trying to figure out to solve the heat soak issues. So on a hot day with the tune, even a modified Civic Type R is going to have heat soak issues. It's actually the main reason why I'm kind of moving on from the Type R FK8 platform as a race car. It just gets way too hot. For time attack and time trial type stuff, it's okay. You get that 1 or 2 laps As long as you modify, you have to put, you have to put like, vent hose and things like that to make sure you're dissipating heat. You have the bigger radiator. I have put I heat wrapped my whole engine. I mean, I've done a lot of videos on this stuff, and I'm gonna do a whole walk around of my Type R before I end up selling it. Of all of the modifications that I did, the car is awesome. It's one of the best cars you can get for under $50,000. I think it's the best car you can get under $50,000. Hyundai Veloster N is a close second, but the Type R is the best car you can get under $50,000, bar none. I really can't wait to get my 11th gen Civic Type R. That's going to be an amazing treat. And it's really going to be the same platform basically as the FK8, but I'm going to go a different direction with the 11th gen. I'm not going to turn it into a full-on race car, but I am going to modify it as a street slash cruiser, right? So it's going to be a nice car. My 11th gen, the 8th gen, the 10th gen FK8 is definitely a crazy beast of a car anywhere you go. And on hot days, you get that one really fast lap, especially if you're tuned, and then you have to go cool down. On hot days on the streets, you are going to have some heat soak issues. You can do a lot of stuff. Venting the hood is a big thing. I recommend if you want some ventilation on the hoods, you can look at Track Specs Motorsports. I believe sells some stuff on there to put on the hood, and it's the best recommended modification for heat dissipation. That and the modified front grille, the eBay grill, the one I have on my Type R. I've done a video on that. You could look on my channel for the. I also there's like 5 or 10 recommendations I've done as to how to mitigate for the heat in the Type R. So go look at those videos. They're in my channel. I've got a lot of Type R videos. But shall we get started on what I'm selling off? So first, I'm sitting on them, but I'm selling off the Type R seats. Have no use for them anymore. I know Team Honda Research, they're this weekend currently doing the 25 hours of Thunderhill. They took these seats and converted them to office chairs, which is pretty cool. I think it's a little bit too expensive to take these seats and convert them into office chairs. These seats are pretty expensive themselves. So I've looked on eBay. The cheapest seats that I could find from the Civic Type R, the FK8s, was about $1,500 per seat. So it's about $3,000 per set. I'm thinking, I'm selling them for, well, I think I'm gonna try to sell the whole package that I have in front of me here. Like I said, I have about $10,000 worth of parts. Somebody offers me $7,000, $6,500 even. I'm happy to take some parts out. I have wheels, I have tires. I think I have 3 sets of wheels with tires, a full set of brand new 265, 35, 18 Firestone Firehawk, not Firestone Firehawks. I have the Federal RSRR tires I've never used, also for sale. I have some brake pads, some Hawk DTC 70 brake pads that'll fit the STIs and stuff, also for sales. But if you're interested in buying any of these things, contact me. My email address is down below, or you can contact me on Instagram, FlyinGato on Instagram. And I'm just gonna go through and like I said, go through the list. Starting out with the seats. These seats are really good. This is part of what makes the Civic Type R so special is these seats. I've replaced these seats in my Type R with race buckets. You saw the Sparkle one and the OMP one, OMP TRS in red, and the Sparko, I forget the actual model name of the seat, but it was really cool Sparkos. And let's go ahead and flip the camera for you guys here. So those are the seats. I'm gonna go take a little walk around and do a little detailed of the seats. So like I said, I was just sitting on the seats. Really nice seats here. And they're a little dusty because they've been in storage in this heated garage. So this is a mostly controlled temperature garage. And so they're really good shape. The driver's seats no longer has the airbag that goes back here. Just to keep that in mind, the passenger seat has all the airbags and everything. So if you're wondering if you want these seats, it comes with the frame rails, so the seat rails, and all that stuff. So again, let me know, reach out to me. Let's go through the list. I also have the back seats of the Type R. I have the stock under tray. I have all the interior plastics. So anything behind the driver's seats is here. It's all here. So that right there is the passenger side curtain airbag. That right there is the passenger airbag. This is the SRS airbag, the regular one. There's also some carpeting there for the rears. There's all the bolts, speakers, all the speakers. There's a subwoofer back there. This is the steering box. So this right here is the electronic power steering box. I don't know if they've retrofitted these into the RSXs or Preludes or anything like that, but this is pretty cool. This is electric power steering, and this is particular to the Civic Type R because it has 3 modes, right? So it's got the Sport mode, it's got the Type R mode or Plus R mode, and it's got the, I believe they call it Touring mode, or yeah, I think it's Touring mode. But anyway, the soft mode. So it's got those 3 different modes. So it's electronic, and it's pretty damn good steering box. This was not my original. I bought this off of a Civic Type R in Canada because I thought mine had problems, but after my accidents, but it didn't. So this is a known working good one. This is the center console. This right here is the stock front pipe, which connects to the downpipe. Now this downpipe has the catalytic converter. I've seen these go for like $700 or whatever. It is what it is. I've got 3 red seat belts. I believe there's 3 because of the rear. Yeah, 3 red seat belts, and the driver's seat belt obviously I've used, so I'm not selling that. So I have 3 red seat belts. Again with this package, the rear door cards, just a little dusty again, and that's basically the big bulk of it. I also have, let me flip this around again. I also have the shocks. So the shocks, I replaced the shocks and springs on my Type R with coilovers, FlyinGato coilovers. Again, I've done videos on that as well. Highly recommended suspension for your Type R if you're looking to get serious on the track, because the stock suspension is extremely good. The damper and the springs are really, really good. But FlyinGato 510s or something equivalent like a KW or a Öhlins, excellent suspension manufacturers would improve your track times. I also have a bunch of tires. So there's a lot of tires here. I have the stock wheels and tires right here. These are stock tires. These are Hoosiers with wheels that I'm also selling. So again, hit me up. My email is down below. realflyingato@gmail.com. So yeah, all of that's for sale. Again, I priced everything out on eBay. Took 10% off whatever price I saw on eBay, and conservatively, and I got it to over like almost $11,000 worth of stuff, just in small parts and things like that. So if somebody wants all of this, I'm happy and willing to ship it. I don't know, let's say within an hour or 2 of where I live. I'm currently in northeastern Pennsylvania. So if that's someone that might be you, contact me on realflyingato@gmail.com. All right, let's take a look at some other comments. So Type R speed, I've been doing some time trials. HPDs with the Civic, with the stock tune. Summer track days were not fun, yeah. Yeah, Type R is being sold with the current mods. I'm not sure if I'm gonna take the Koenig Ampliform wheels, and I think I'm gonna put them on the 385D. But yeah, everything else I'm keeping it in the car. So I'm keeping the PRL downpipe, non-catted. I'm keeping the PRL intercooler, everything that I've done to the car. I'm staying with the car. The white line, the rear sway bar, all that stuff is staying with the Type R. The roll cage, the really, really, really nice roll cage, obviously is staying with the Type R. So yeah, so let me see what else here. That's a good question. Yeah, so these seats would be awesome on any FA5. What up, Randy? So the question is Fortune 510 good for bumpy tracks? So IR. So the thing with the Fortune 510s is that they have really good damper technology, rebound, and the rebound technology is really good. You can get them custom springed and valved to whatever needs you want. I didn't go full on stiff like most people might want to do. They would be too bumpy. So I went 8K in the rear, and I'm trying to remember. I went 10K in the rear, 8K in the front. And because I knew I was going to take the stiffest rear sway bar adjustable and put it in the back. So with that setup, so you have to keep in mind the rear sway bar, the front sway bar, and your spring rates, front and rear, and what your driving style might be. With that setup, I was actually pretty damn happy with the results. The only thing that kept popping up, especially on really, really hot days, hot, humid days, were the heat soak issues of the Type R. So, yeah. So Brenda says, why am I selling it? So I'm selling all this stuff because I'm moving to Florida, number one. Number two, my Civic Type R is modified. And so these seats and everything else, right in front of me, I'll show you. All this stuff doesn't go with it. And number three, I am getting the 11th gen Civic Type R. So I think it's time to move on from the 10th gen to the 11th gen. I really want to see what I can do with the 11th gen. I've spoken to a few dealers already, basically on their lists, but we'll see. I'm probably gonna have to end up calling 50 different dealers to get my 11th gen Type R. We'll see when the time comes. And I'm on the list for the C8 Z06 as well, a Corvette. This is C8 Z06, if you know what that is. And I also have another car coming here within a couple of weeks, actually. So I can't wait to share that with you guys. So that is the answer to why I'm selling all this stuff. So Andy asks, have you ever considered Honda with K20, K24 swap after the CTR? I'm curious how I built K20. So down the line, actually, I'm thinking if I continue to do this channel, and I think I will, with you guys' support, if you guys support me and you guys keep watching the videos and you guys are interested, I am going to build something with a K20. Now, a lot of people like to do the K20, K24 swap. So a K24 block with a K20 head, and so you get the 2.4 liter displacement and etc. I'm a little bit of a purist myself. I don't know. I like the K20 bottom end and top end. I want a really, really high revving engine. So I'm a big fan of my S2000. I have an S2000 in case you guys don't know, with this high revving 9,000 RPM revs. And so I'd like to build a 9,500 RPM Redline K20. Which chassis I'm not decided on yet. That will be decided in the future. I've considered a Miata. I've considered a Lotus Elise. I've considered a Civic EK. I like the EKs. But that is definitely in the plans after this, basically after a year from now, right? Because in the next year, a lot of changes are happening, as you guys know, with the move in Florida and all that stuff. So once they get settled, yeah, I'm definitely looking at a K20 swap, high rev K20 swap. So I want to really, if I can get to 10,000 RPMs, and then I think you can, I might do that. Can you guys imagine a 10,000 RPM Redline on a K20, and let's say a Miata or a Lotus Elise? That would be a sweet build. I think you guys might like that. So let me flip you guys around since I'm a little tired. I guess I can't. I bought a new phone. I'm using an iPhone now. I've broken down and got an iPhone. In Android, you could flip your phone around. I guess this one you can't. That's all right. Question is, how does the C8's magnetic ride compare to the Civic's torque dampers? It's hard to, well, it's like, they're not comparable almost at all, unfortunately. The Chevrolet magnetic ride suspension, they actually were the ones that first developed the technology. And they've done it for over 10 years. I believe the first magnetic ride suspension was in the C6 ZR1, which is back in 2012 or 2013. So it's been almost 10 years since they developed it. They've licensed it out to Ferrari, to Ford, to Lamborghini. I mean, this magnetic ride technology has been used in a lot of different vehicles, including now the Honda Civic Type R. Now, the Civic Type R's suspension, the dampers are really good, and the tuning is really good. The chassis is really good. And really the chassis of the FK8 is probably the best part of the second best part of the Civic Type R. Best part, obviously, is the K20 turbocharged engine. But the C8 magnetic ride, you can tune it so you could with a flip of a button. So you go from track mode, which is extremely stiff, and then, you know, you're basically bouncing off everywhere. If you're driving in track mode with the C8s, you're gonna bounce off the road almost. And if you put it in touring mode, it's softer than a Cadillac or any luxury car I've ever been in. It's insane. My wife and I took a road trip to Maine in the C8 Corvette, and there's videos of me driving it. And during the entire trip, we were mostly in tour mode, and my God, she was like, "This is the most comfortable car I've ever been in." You know, she's always driven a BMW, it's kind of a sporty sedan, but man, what a difference that thing makes. And so I think definitely my next C8 is going to have magnetic ride. The C8 Z06 already comes with magnetic ride as the base Z06, so I'm definitely getting the magnetic ride. Although the Type R with 18-inch wheels and tires, the ride does get much better. So if you use the 20-inch stock Civic Type R wheels, they're ridiculous. I mean, you're gonna, even with the softest setting, you're gonna be in for a pretty bad ride, especially on these roads here, these bad Pennsylvania roads. But with 18-inch wheels and tires, put it in soft mode, it actually glides pretty well. You know, I can't complain as much. It's much better than any previous Honda, I'll tell you that. It's much better than, I'd say it's even better than the Acuras. The rides are even more plush and comfortable in comfort mode in a Type R with 18-inch wheels than it is in a normal Acura. So just so you know. So I hope that I answered that question. And then what do you think about the new, hold on, I think I skipped one. All right, what do you think about the new Golf R, the automatic dual clutch versus manual? So the Golf R is actually really cool. Hold on, let me get a little more comfortable here. See if I can remember how to put the seat down. There we go. A little bit of an incline, much better. So what was the question? The Golf R. So the Golf R, I've always liked the Golfs. So I have a review of a Mark 7 Golf GTI manual, and that thing was awesome. I think the new Golf R with the dual clutch transmission, I think it's honestly competing with other Audis at that point. You know, if you're an aspirational Porsche owner, if you like the 911s, but just can't quite reach the financial needs to buy a 911, then a dual clutch automatic would go a long way, especially from Volkswagen, the same auto group. In case you guys don't know, Volkswagen owns Porsche, so they have a lot of the engineers work across the aisle, right? So the dual clutch, the DSG Golf R, is an awesome all-weather, all-wheel drive vehicle. Now, for track days and things like that, yeah, you could do the occasional track day for sure. But for someone like me, I want to use the track at least once a week, maybe twice a week, or maybe, you know, a lot. Let's say a lot. Let's say 4 to 5 times a month. It probably won't last that long with me because, again, it's a turbocharged engine. The transmission wasn't designed for that. It wasn't designed for the constant abuse. But for a daily driver, the Golf R is a damn awesome car. For the excitement level, I would still pick a Type R. The excitement level on a Type R is way higher. Let's see. So somebody asked me, how's the rust on the Type R? So I did a video on that as well. I stopped driving it in the winter after last year. So the rust has not gotten any worse. It's actually I've fixed up a little bit here and there wherever I could. I've replaced a couple of bolts. Then you guys saw when I replaced the downpipe and the front pipe, I had to replace some bolts, and I painted some of that stuff. But yeah, these Type Rs unfortunately do have some rusting areas. Now, I don't think it's structural rust, and I think these cars are going to last a very long time, even if they're daily driven. But the rust on the Type R is not gotten worse since I showed you guys last about 2 years ago, because I've only used it on the track, and it's only really rained on the track. There's no snow or anything, obviously. So Apollo asks, have you had a chance to drive the Supra yet? Did you consider it as your next track car when deciding the 1LE? Apollo knows about the 1LE. Agree your choice on your 1LE. So yeah, the 1LE is definitely coming to the channel. So there's only 15 of you guys watching for now, and the people that do watch this far will know that I'll be getting a ZL1 1LE. And the reason I got the ZL1 1LE versus the Supra is because the Supra, again, awesome street car, but it needs a little bit of modification to get to a decent track car. I know Jackie Ding has a really, really nicely prepped Toyota Supra, and it's a really nice car. But you know, I wanted something that out of the factory I could take to the track, and then if anything breaks on the track, I can just go to a dealership and say, fix it for me. Because, and I'll share more news later. Um, but even just moving to Florida, building the shop, and doing all this stuff, I'm not gonna have the time to tinker around anymore. Not as much as I used to. I'm gonna be making videos. I want to be producing more content for you guys. I'm going to be videoing some modifications and some of the things that I'm going to be doing to the Camaro, into my property, into my shop, and I'm going to be buying other vehicles and other, like, maybe riding some motorcycles again. And I want to do more of that and less, actually putting in 8 hours of work on a Saturday, tearing apart my engine like that. Right, you guys. I mean, there's other channels that do all that already. That've been doing that for a long time. You guys don't seem that interested in watching me work on engines. I'm still gonna do that with the Camaro, but the reason I didn't want to do it with the Supra is because there's no track warranty on the Supra. That's the main thing. Number one. Number two, the Supra is a two-seater, and I actually would like to have a car with a back seats. Something that I can carry. So, 'cause I'm gonna have family visiting. I'm gonna have people coming to Florida, and I want to be able to drive them around. And in a Supra or a Corvette, uh, two seats, very big limitation. And the third thing is the B58, so the inline six turbocharged engine that the Supra has. It does have some heat issues, so it's got some heating problems from the factory. If you don't modify it, it will get some heat soak. The ZL1 1LE, because it's got 11 heat exchangers, it's got a lot of heat mitigation out of the box, out of the factory. No need to modify it to get it to cool down. You could pound it lap after lap after lap. Very few people have seen actual heat soak issues where timing gets pulled a bit. And when they do, and I've been reading the forums, the Camaro, I believe Camaro6.com or Camaro6forums.com. And when they do see some issues, there's no issues pop up. It's they feel a little bit slower than they did at the beginning of the session. That's only after 20 to 30 minutes of the session. The Type R, unfortunately, has overheated on me and has told me, hey, you need to pull off. And I've had other issues. Right, in the Civic Type R, I had my expansion tag blow up. I've had the overheating issue. I've had a lot of heat soak issues. I mean, heat soaking in Kentucky at Time Trial Nationals was super annoying. And you'll be seeing those videos coming out very soon. I'm just putting them out, all my track videos. You'll see how hot the engine gets. You see how slow, unfortunately, the car gets, and it wasn't doing it. So the ZL1 1LE is just out of the factory, pre-built for the track, just like the C8 Z06 will be. Anything happens on the track, bring it to the shop, the dealer shop, and hey, something broke, go fix it. Hey, the engine blew up, fix it, replace it for me. And Chevy is Chevy and maybe the Porsche GT3s, the GT lines, and the Turbo S lines or the Turbo lines. Those vehicles are covered under the warranty, regardless of what you do with them. I mean, except for competition. I'm not gonna enter into a 24 hours of lemons or 25 hours of Thunderhill, let's say for example, and then expect a Chevy dealer to cover my expenses there. That's not gonna happen. But if I'm doing a track day and something happens, Chevy is gonna be able to fix my problems. Honda won't touch your car. I mean, if you guys go back to 2017, I had a lot of problems with my transmission, and I've had some issues, and they asked me, "Hey, did you track your car?" I'm like, "Nah." I mean, by then I think I did. So I think I told them I did, and they're like, "Oh, maybe the warranty's not good anymore." I'm like, "What? What do you mean the warranty's not good anymore?" The only actually Hyundai Veloster N is covered on track if it's covered on the warranty if you track it, but Hyundai dealerships are way worse than Honda dealerships. That's actually kept me from buying Hyundais. I was thinking about maybe getting a Veloster N to get on the channel, modify a little bit, and then, you know, maybe raffle it off or sell it or something. But the dealership network of the Hyundai's dealership network is very bad. Trust me on that one. Hopefully they improve that, but that's a very good question, Apollo. I did consider the Supra. I love the Supra as a street car. Love the way it looks. I've always loved the way it looks, and I think you can do a lot with the Supra, but it's just a limited. It's a limited car, and if I'm gonna get a two-seater, I think the C8 Corvette offers a better value, better bang for your buck, right? So the C8 Corvette is also a two-seater. It's mid-engine. It's got that V8. It won't heat soak. It's covered under manufacturer's warranty. The Z51 packages, at least the Z51 C8 Stingray, is covered under manufacturer warranties if you track the car. And it's just an overall, I think, better bang for your buck for around $65,000 before, of course, adding a dealer markup. Those damn Corvettes are being marked up by like 10 or 15 grand at the very least. So Andy says you love the K24, but agree the K20 is better for the track. I just like the high revs, man. I think the K20, K24 combo is really good. I've also considered the B18s. So the B18s for a EK series, kind of want to build an EK Type R, like an EK9 Type R. I know they came with the B16s, but I want to do it my way. So I want to build a Type R that I think they would have built back then with today's technology. So bigger brakes, better steering boxes, better transmissions. Maybe we'll get a sequential gearbox or something. I don't know, something crazy. That's the kind of build I want to do. I want to build something unique and something crazy, and kind of do a resto mod with for an EK9 Type R, and you know, not right-hand drive because I'm not a fan of that, especially in the States. I would do a left-hand drive. That's what I'm thinking about. Andy asked me if I'm selling the property in PA. I am. I'm selling my house in Pennsylvania. It's got over 20 acres of property of land, and my property in Florida has 40 acres. So as you guys can see, I like acreage. So yeah, I'm selling this thing. It's going to be able to free up some capital, or a lot of capital, once I sell it. So with that capital, I'll be able to do a lot more awesome things, including the car shop and racing and things like that. Let's see. That's a good question. What do you think about the new Subaru BRZ Toyota GR86? I love that thing. I love the 86. I prefer the 86 because of the front styling. So the Subaru looks a little ugly in my opinion with the weird smile thing in the front. I love the GR86 Toyota branded one. And I also considered getting one before I got the ZL11LE. Reason I didn't get one is because I was again worried about the track warranty. It all goes back to the track warranty. As you guys, you know, can probably expect, I'm going to be tracking this car a lot. Whatever cars I'm going to be getting are going to live on the track, including my S2000. I'm not going to take my S2000 out a lot on the track, but I will be taking it out here and there. I've done a bunch of modifications and I filmed those modifications. I just have to get the edits going. My editor cousin, Eric, if he's watching or he's going to watch this, he's been the editor. He's the reason why we're getting the videos out again. He's the reason why this channel is still alive, to be honest with you. Without him, I haven't had the time with all the crap that's been going on, my job and everything. So, Eric, big shout out to you, man. Let's just keep going there. So Jesse put 40 series on the CTR. Yeah, you need those bigger tires. I mean, the 35 series, the 30 series. It comes with 30 series tires on the stock Type R wheels, the 20-inch wheels. Rubber bands, terrible. I don't recommend them. So IR says he traded in his CTR for a 1LE after stopping to worry about. He don't want to worry about overheating anymore. And that's really it, you know. As someone, so if you're just getting into track day driving, if you haven't even gotten to it yet and you want to start, I think the Civic Type R is the best place to start. You get the Civic Type R, the FK8s, out of the box. You throw some wheels and tires on it. You throw some Hawk brake pads on there, the DTC 60s in the front, the DTC 30s in the back. Change the brake fluid. You go to the track. It's an awesome machine. You're going to learn a lot. It's gonna be way faster than you even need to start with. But I put over, I don't know how many track days I did with that Type R. a lot. I did over 100, I think it was over 200 laps with that Type R this year. It was a lot of laps in that Type R this year and last year and the year before. I've crashed it into a wall, unfortunately. You guys saw that. Brought it back to the track. It's been an awesome car, but the overheating issues, that's why I'm getting Z01. That's why IR got a Z01. I think it got a Z01 1LE. Let me know what you got, man. Is it a Z01 or is it an SS? I actually doing a review of an SS 1LE. Actually, Bobby's SS 1LE. If you're on here, let me know. So he's got a blue SS 1LE, which I love. It was stick shift SS 1LE, and I have a review coming out very soon, and look out for that. So the question is, y'all giving me bad ideas or good ideas depending on how you're looking at it. Yeah, man. Type R speed, Z01 1LE. Honestly, those are the best. So the Z01 1LE is probably the best bargain for under $100,000. It's faster than the C8 Z51 Corvettes, for sure. It's got 650 horsepower, 650 foot-pounds of torque. It's got that supercharged engine. It's got 11 heat exchangers. Man, it's just, you know, you can get a stick shift, you can get it automatic. It's got 2 doors, it's got back seats. You know, man. Heat soak has totally ruined seasons for me. Times I could have beat my personal best lap if not for... Yeah, so Type R speed. So I went to Time Trial Nationals, SCCA Time Trial Nationals, and I've done a 218 at Time Trial Nationals. This was on a cooler day, or not, sorry, I've done a 218 on NCM, at the NCM Motorsports Park track. And that was on cooler days. It was on a track day. It wasn't a time trial, so I guess it's not an official time. So I expected, and then I modified the car a little bit more. So I expected a 218 at the very least. Now, Time Trial Nationals, there was 95-degree days, extremely humid, and the car was just not liking it, man. So a minute into your lap, the heat soak would sink in, the car would pull timing, you'd see the heat, you see the temperature rise. It got really annoying, and I was pretty angry that I couldn't beat my damn time. It was like I got a 222 or something like that, which is great for that track. The size Civic Type R, 220 to 222 it's a good time. But I know I've done a 218 before, but I just couldn't pull it out with that damn heat. So Edwin says La Vega. So my family is from La Vega, Dominican Republic. So we got some La Vega people in here. Love it. So we still have a 100-acre farm, or 300-acre farm that used to be a tobacco farm in near La Vega, Dominican Republic. Unless you meant Las Vegas, Edwin. What Chevy dealer do you recommend up here? Asking for a friend. Gray Chevrolet. Gray Chevrolet. So I've called a few dealerships in Pennsylvania. I've dealt with Shioka Chevrolet down in near Lehigh. So they're in Lehigh Valley, right? I think the best Chevy dealership in Lehigh Valley is Gray Chevrolet, Bobby Balmus. He's very straightforward. Now, unfortunately, he didn't have a ZL1 1LE car allotment soon enough for me, so I didn't buy it from him. But he's always the first guy I go to. My C8 Z06 is with him. You know, he tries to sell cars. I mean, he's always sold cars for me for really good prices. I bought my Colorado ZR2 from Bobby at Gray Chevrolet. Awesome guy all around. Very honest. You know, the owner does control the pricing, you know, more than he does. So sometimes he will have to mark up, especially now, he'll have to mark up some cars, unfortunately. But I would go to him. I think he could order you a ZL1 1LE, and I think he'll sell it to you for MSRP. But give him a call. Gray Chevrolet, and his name is Bobby. Tell him I sent you. He knows me. I go hang out with him all the time. Gray Chevrolet. All right. Have you used AP Racing's brakes? I have not used AP Racing brakes. I heard really good things about them. I love Hawk brakes. So that's I guess a discussion for a different video maybe, but the way I like to brake, especially the Civic Type R, is I like to go real hot into a corner. I like to I drop the anchors real hard at the end to get as much weight in the front at the front of the car as possible, and get as much weight off of the rear as possible, and turn the wheel, trail braking, turn the wheel to get that back end to come out. Get the car pointed in the right direction, then hammer on the accelerator at the outside of the corner. It's quite a violent way to do it, but hey. Actually, I forgot to tell you one thing. So I have two Honda Prelude Type S seats for sale as well. That if somebody wants to package up all this stuff for $6,000-7,000, I'll include those as well. You know, just let me know. Again, I'm selling as much as possible. Does that mean I'm moving to Florida? Edwin, I am moving to Florida. Yeah. So I've announced it a month ago. So we're moving to Florida. Next couple of weeks, I'll be moving. I'll be there full time in January for sure. What is my dream collector car under $50,000? The Civic Type R is a pretty damn good collector car. I'll tell you that. Under 50 grand, new. Well, I guess when they were new, used as well. The Civic Type R, I guess it's number 2. Number 1 is the Honda S2000. The Honda S2000, I'm never letting go of mine. I always think about buying a second one. Maybe an AP2 this time instead of an AP1. But the Honda S2000 is my number 1 pick. Number 2 pick is the Civic Type R. Number 3 pick, probably a C6, a Corvette C6 Z06. A 2009 Corvette C6 Z06 came very close to becoming my next car. And again, I've done videos on this that I haven't released yet because I haven't been editing them. But I'm sending them over to my cousin Eric, and he will edit them together for you guys and for us. And you guys will watch my thoughts on that. So Type R Speed likes the Z01, man. So IR got the SS1LE. Yeah, force induction's a problem. Force induction's a problem. The SS1LE is not a slouch at all. I have 2 buddies. So I have one buddy that I do race with. His name is I know his Instagram name because that's what I remember. It's Marvtastic, I believe he goes by on Instagram. Anyway, he's got a green one. And then Bobby at Gray Chevrolet has a blue one. And it's his SS1LE that I review, and that's coming out in the next week or 2. So Edwin says, La Vega, República Dominicana. Love it. Yeah, man. Lots of family there. I don't know if you tried hood louvers on the CTR. Yeah, hood louvers would help a lot. I've been really following the Civic Type R's on the track, the race ones. And even with hood louvers and everything, you get one good lap. You get a good 2 or 3 minutes. With all the modifications, you get a 2 or 3 minutes and then heat soak. Right? And maybe one day when I get really good at driving, maybe one day with all my instructing and all the things that I've been doing as an instructor myself, and just getting that experience in me, maybe one day I'll be good enough to only need 2 to 3 minutes on a session to really learn the best lines on a new track. But I'm not there yet. So I need a car that I can go on all these new tracks that I'm going to be going on. Road Atlanta, Laguna Seca one day, Willow Springs. I want to be able to go and pound lap after lap after lap after lap without worrying about heat soak and heat issues, and with a gas tank that has more than 10 gallons, so I can do more than 20 or 30 minutes before I have to go fill up again. That's really why I needed something other than CTR, although hood louvers are going to help. Andy asked if I'm in the construction industry. I am not in the construction industry. I'm more of a, so I think you might be asking because I built my workshop and I've done a lot of construction work. I have a skid steer. I have a modern outdoor living YouTube channel. So if you guys are wondering, if you guys want to see some of the outdoor stuff that I do, I don't have that many videos up on there yet. I think I have 5 or 6 videos and I'm going to be uploading there. But I have a YouTube channel called Modern Outdoor Living. And it's just basically all my outdoor stuff that I do, with my ride-on mower and my skid steer and stuff like that. But no, I'm while I do construction for myself, I'm not in construction. I think there's a lot of value in learning how things are done and learning how things are made. That's why I've been able to, do all this by myself. I took all of this out of my car myself, um, to get it prepared for a cage. And again, this is all for sale. But I like to learn things, and the best way to learn is hands-on training. So that's why I went ahead and built that big, 30 by 50 workshop that you guys have seen, that I've done my previous live streams on. And I will be building a larger one in Florida. So, no, I'm not in construction. My industry is actually, I'm in the accounting industry. So my job is director of operations for a large accounting firm, in case you guys were wondering. So I do operations, right? For a national accounting firm. And yeah, I mean, one of the things that I love to do is work with my hands. So I've cut down with my help of my dad, obviously. I've cut down a lot of trees. I think I have over 100 trees around the property. They're just too close to the house, and they fell and broke the pool. So I fixed that. I trucked in over 100 truckloads of dirt. I did my own gravel work. I did my own stamping work. I did my own concrete forms. I've done all my car work. I mean, I've done basically everything from start to bottom, right? I want to know how everything works. I want to know how everything functions, so that if something breaks and someone can't just come to fix it for me, I'll be able to do it. I mean, one big example, that right there is a pretty complex furnace. It's basically an engine. It's got an O2 sensor in there. It's got a spark plug in there. It uses propane, and it broke on me in the middle of winter, in the middle of a snowstorm, and I had to use JB Weld to fix it, right? And if I didn't work with my hands, I wouldn't know how to do that, and I wouldn't have heat necessarily. And trust me, you don't want to have a wife that's too cold because you don't know how to work on stuff. So I recommend you start learning stuff and you start doing stuff on your own. And yeah, man, that's why I do my own construction, but not a construction guy. So Andy says that masculinity is a lost art. Yeah, there's not enough masculinity in this world. Not enough at all. All this talk about toxic masculinity is a problem. I think we need more masculine men. We need more men that take charge and take responsibility for themselves and for their community and their people around them. There's not enough of that. So not to get too involved in that. My modern outdoor living channel will have more of those opinion type stuff, but happy to share them here too. Will I be getting this 22 type? Yeah, I'm getting the 22 Type R for sure. And I'm going to be building that in a different method. So I'm still going to build that, but it's going to be a slightly different build. You guys see, it'll be a lot more fun than a full race car build, because a full race car build really takes it into its own league and too unique to really explain to you guys or even recommend stuff to you guys when I have a roll cage now and I have all this other stuff. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. How old am I? I am 30. I'm almost 35 years old. So not young anymore. So yeah, I've been just to give you guys some background. I've been working full time, not full time, I guess, but I've been working since I was 12. My first job was cleaning office buildings because I wanted to buy a Honda Prelude. A Honda Prelude was my dream car when I was 12. My dream first car. And this is before the S2000 came out. And so I was working cleaning office buildings. I was taking the trash out of office buildings. And then I did that for a bit. I did construction here and there. I did modeling. I did handyman work. So my dad would get these referrals, and he didn't have time because he used to build houses for a living. And so he was like, "Oh, you want to do this stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do it." And then I did. I worked at a store called Pathmark in Nanuet, New York. It was Pathmark. It's no longer there. I was cashier for about 2 months, and I was promoted to customer service, and I did that for 6 months. And then I moved over to a title insurance company, and I was there basically their errand boy. I used to have a 1990 Civic wagon, and I used to do deliveries. I used to make copies, and it was just an after high school job. And then I went to college, and I became a computer. I learned computers. I became a computer technician, and then I worked at Best Buy in Palisades Mall in New York. If you guys have ever been there, I worked at that Best Buy as a Geek Squad person. So I was a Geek Squad computer guy through college. I worked 40 to 45 hours a week, and I took 18 credits of college. So 7 days a week, I was extremely busy for about 3.5 years. Then I sold car insurance for a little bit and got my license, actually. And then I moved over to my current role as operations, and I've been doing operations for 12 years. There's my career in a nutshell. But yeah, got some questions here. Do you think it's worth it to spend a lot of money on super lightweight wheels? No. It's good to get lightweight wheels. Um, but for the Type R especially, I mean, it's not an all-out race car. Like it's not an extremely high. It's not $100,000 car, or even higher than that. It's not even a GT500 Mustang, or the Z06, the new C8 Z06. They're going to use carbon wheel. Are they nice? Yes, but you can get 80% of the lightweightness or the lightweight performance of a wheel with a flow formed wheel from Koenig, for example, like the ones that I have, for like less than half the price of a high end forged lightweight wheel. So I'm a value prop kind of guy. So if I can get 80% of the value for 50% of the cost, I'm gonna do that because it just makes sense. There's living life. You're spending money on everything. Gotta pay the electric bill. Gotta pay the light bill. Gotta pay the internet. Everything adds up. So you gotta be a little bit smart with a value prop of what you're getting. So I'm moving. Edwin asked what part of Florida. So I'm moving in by the Florida Georgia line. Florida Georgia, way north between Tallahassee and Jacksonville, way up there. It's called Live Oak, Florida. Do I still own my WRX? I do still own my Subaru WRX. I'm still not decided on what to do with it. I think I have to sell it because I just don't have the time nor the space currently to kind of deal with it. I might sell it, or I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have all the parts to fix it. I have all the body panels to fix the rust. The car runs. It's just that last bit. I want the body to be done nicely and painted, and there's some prep work I wanted to do, and I ran out of time. I'm moving next week. The move starts next week, so I ran out of time. Don't know what to do with it. If you have any ideas, let me know. So Apollo remembers Pathmark. Used to pick up the S1 VHS movie rentals back in the day. Yep, that's Pathmark. I worked in the one in Nanuet. That was a very long running Pathmark, and it was a good time. It was a good time. So you can work from home. I've worked from home for 10 years because my job is national. So I have to be near an airports because I fly to Texas and California and Chicago and Atlanta, all that stuff. Would I consider an EV? Let's have the EV discussion. And then I guess let's close up. We've been here for about an hour. The EV discussion. I don't think I can get an EV until I can fill up the battery in less than 10 minutes. In order for any EV to work long term, I think for basically at least half, if not 70% of the US population, in order for an EV type of vehicle fleet to work, you have to be able to drive to a place or even from your house, whatever, and be able to fill up or charge your vehicle within 10 minutes. I'll take even 20 minutes. But it really has to be under 10 minutes for that market share to break out. Until then, it's all electric vehicles are basically luxury city vehicles. You know, if I'm popping to the shops to run an errand real quick, sure, right? EV makes sense. But it just doesn't make any sense for someone that's actually using the vehicle, for useful purposes. Like, for example, my two diesel BMWs, my 3G5D and my X5 diesel. My 3G5D, I can go 600 miles to a tank. And, that may not seem like a big deal, but I don't have to fill up that often. I don't have to go that far. I don't have to worry about, oh, when's my next fill up? I don't have anxiety, range anxiety. And it's like, I forgot to fill up the tank, oh no, I'll just fill it up, next time I go to the gas station. If I forget to, let's say, plug in my EV, and then it only has 20 miles of range, to plug it in to do 50-mile thing, then I'll have to wait a couple hours. And that's just not useful right now. Now, in terms of speed, they're ridiculous. Electric motors have been around for a very long time. Nikola Tesla invented the electric motor, the induction motor. I think it's over 100 years now. And it's so simple, it's ridiculous. The electric motor is in everything. Hell, this iPhone that I just currently got, this is an iPhone 13 Pro. Yeah, I've been an Android guy forever, but now I switched over to iPhone just for the cameras. But this phone has at least one electric motor. I think the vibration mode, it's just a little electric motor that spins, but everything uses electric motors. Everything, your blender, your microwave has one, your fans have one, your pumps, everything that runs your house, your pumps, your fans, the if you have air handlers, that uses electric motors. And so they're extremely simple, and because they're so simple, you can get so much power out of them. And not just that, the level of computer control that you can get on those motors make it so the traction control on the wheels is almost like a minute millisecond type of thing. So that way, the traction control on these cars is ridiculous. I think electric motors are the future. Don't get me wrong, but until they figure out a technology to where I can just plug it in for 10 minutes and it'll be fully charged with 300 miles of range. So remember that 10 minutes, 300 miles. That's the formula. Without that, I don't see it working out. Especially not for me. So Andy asked if so I work from home. Did you document the lap time improvement from the splitter and the rear wing you got? I did document that. I did document that. I'm going to talk about it, so it'll be in my track days videos that I'll be uploading in the next couple of weeks, maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I have a lot of videos to upload. There is a real good improvement on the stability at high speeds. There's a corner, I believe it's corner 4 or 5 at NCM National Park. And that's a very high speed 100-mile-an-hour corner. That's where you really feel it. So before the bigger wing and before the splitter, in the Type R, I was able to take that corner at under 100. It would be like 98, 99 miles an hour. After the wing and after the front splitter, you're gonna see I did it at over 108, maybe 110 miles an hour through the corner. That's a huge speed improvement, and I gained quite a bit of time just from that. Now, again, aero only works at, I would say, above 100 miles an hour. So any corner under that, you feel a little bit more stability, but not really. The other time is when you're on a really, really high speed section of a racetrack, and it's just little turns here and there, and they're a little bumpy. You really feel your car planted as you go through there. I mean, after Deception, if you know where National Corvette Museum Motorsport Park, if you know that track, after Deception, you have a long straightaway with a couple of turns here and there. Man, after 100 miles an hour, the car feels so planted. There's no hesitation at all. It's hammer down, man. It's just hammer down the entire way. And that's what good aero does to your car. So yeah, I document. You'll be seeing those videos coming out. So it's unfortunate that Tesla built Model S Plaid to be a muscle car that cannot turn and overheat. Yeah. It's the overheating issue is gonna plague battery operated cars until they fix that battery technology. It's not the motor problem at all. Those motors, they basically, I mean, I guess you could put some fans on them to cool them down. They're so simple. Again, they're not gonna be the problem. It's always the batteries. Lithium ion battery. I actually took a chemistry class with the inventor of the lithium ion battery. He's explained to us the limitations of the lithium ion battery. Not recommended to use them in a car necessarily, but we're using them because that's all we got. And so until we fix the battery technology, we're not going to get a good track focused Tesla or any of that. I mean, I'm sure Tesla's going to come out with a track focused Tesla at some point. They're going to say, "Oh, this is good for the track. It's lighter weight, bigger brakes, blah blah blah." But it'll be a 1 lap wonder, maybe a 2 lap wonder, and that's it. So Dustin says, "Good luck with the move to Florida. Excited to see your future content. Gonna check out the other channel." Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's I think about 30 to 40 videos that are gonna be uploaded here that have been already filmed. I think 14 or 15 of them have been edited. I think I have another 10 already uploaded to the channel that are gonna be uploaded and released. They're already uploaded. They're gonna be released in the next week or two. And so there's a lot of stuff for you guys to watch and enjoy and ask questions on and learn from. Again, I make videos. I only make videos that I would enjoy watching. That's literally what the inception of my channel was. I bought a Honda Civic hatchback, and I'm like, there's no videos of this car that are worth watching right now. This is back in 2016, 2017. There's no videos of the car. So I'm just going to make a video and cover all the things that I would like to watch, because I didn't know about the rev hang, for example. The journalist never mentioned it. So then I mentioned it. I talked about it, right? And so so I also did motorcycle videos, just motor vlogs, just to make my commute better when I used to ride my motorcycle down to the city when I lived in Rockland County, New York. So I rode like 40,000 miles on a motorcycle for in a year and a half commuting to New York City. It was nuts. But anyway, yeah, that's the inception of my channel. Has always been, content that I would watch, that I would enjoy. So if you guys, enjoy the videos, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the whole support, all the outreach, the comments. If you guys want to talk to me, you can reach out to me on Instagram. Pretty accessible there. And if you want to, again, buy any of the stuff that I talked to you guys about, reach out to me there on Instagram or realflyingato@gmail.com. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. Let's see here. So good luck with the move. My wife made me sell Type R. She was concerned about my safety. I'm jealous that your wife lets you go on tracks, but I'm happy it retained its value. Yeah, Willie. Well, I think the Civic is a very safe car. I think she may be concerned about your safety, maybe on how you drove it. But the Civic is a very safe car. I mean, the Ace body structure, I've talked about it. After I crashed my Type R, I talked about the Ace body structure and how it's very strong on those Civics. It's a very safe vehicle, but it does egg you on to go fast. So I get it. I get why your wife would tell you to sell it. And right now is a good time to sell any car. All right, guys. If you have nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Thanks for joining today. Again, next week, I'm going to try to do one. I'm going to try my best, but I'm probably going to be in my X5 with my trailer on my journey down to Florida with my first trip with a trailer full of stuff. So if I do a live, it'll be from the X5 and only if I get good reception. We'll see. Thanks for joining, guys. Have a great night. Have a great week ahead of you. Reach out whenever you want. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.